Let's make this beautiful bar. This is flannel weather. It's got some pine cones on top and some layers. I started out, I used the heat transfer method with this, even with my goat milk, and it worked just fine. It just didn't give me as much time. Next time I'll just melt down my oils. You can see how thick it started, and then it thinned out by the time I added my fragrance oil and everything as it was heating up, going through the process. My fragrance oil, and you can see as I stir this a bit, you can see it get thinner as it starts to heat up. Stirred that forever. And then I split off for my layers. I was gonna wing it and just do one picture and eyeball everything, but then I realized I needed to bring in more pictures and make sure it was a little bit more even. And my last layer I poured, and it was off camera. And I'm leaving a little bit for the top of that natural color. In goes my rhubarb, my cinnamon, a little bit more rhubarb, and as you can see, it was definitely very, very thick, and that kind of stresses me out a little bit, and I can never get the patterns exactly how I want. So I won't be attempting the heat transfer method with my goat milk anymore, because it is stressful. I did my texture with this spatula. I love using the spatula because it creates those nice soft mounds of texture instead of something sharp. Stirring those up because they were getting thick on me. And then my charcoal line. I'm so glad I did a charcoal line. It provides that definition that's needed so that you can really, it just helps the colors to pop and you can see it much better. It is quite messy though. And then I was deciding which color I wanted to do next, and I went with the blue, which was a great choice. Absolutely love the order I did the colors in. You can see how thick those other ones are getting. And I decided to spatula it in so I'd save hopefully some of that texture. At this point, I knew I just needed to get it in the mold and try and tap it out as much as I could so I didn't have too many air bubbles. Some more texture. And some more charcoal. I was trying to not be too messy, but it was definitely messy work. And then I did my rhubarb, and I had my green on top. Absolutely love the color that rhubarb creates, and this is with rhubarb powder. I didn't infuse anything. I love the look of the infusion because it's so clean, you know, you don't have the little specks of rhubarb in there. But I didn't have any infused oil, so you can see it was getting so thick. And this is me explaining something. And more charcoal. And finally the green, and by this time the green was looking ugly. A little bit of a color morph. And I had to spatula this in as well because it was getting so thick. And I saved a little bit of each color for the top. Tried to get as many air bubbles out as I could, and I only had a couple air bubbles, so that was good. But I'm cleaning up. And now I'm going to start the top. So in goes my natural kind of ivory color, which turns out, you know, a little bit more white. A little bit of texture, and I put a little bit of charcoal on my spatula, and it created a really cool, you know, pop of color on there. And then I went in and tried to create kind of almost like a camouflage on the other side with all my other colors. And that took forever. Then I went ahead and textured it, wiping my spatula each time so that I wasn't muddying the colors. Too much, at least. There we go. And my pine cones. I love using pine cones. They're so cute. I started out with one and quickly realized that they look so much cooler with two. I feel like they always need a buddy. And there we go. And I was gonna put in some of these little cedar seeds. They're the little helicopters I harvested. And I can never get these to look how I want them to look. So I don't know what I'm gonna use them for. I thought maybe it adds something, but it didn't. I ended up taking that out. And this is me doing my inspection if I liked it or not. And just like that, it's the next day, and I still had to clean up the edges, even though I was making sure, you know, to keep them pretty clean. That charcoal was quite messy. And I just cleaned it up with my bench scraper. It worked really well. And here is the cut. Ta-da! I just love the charcoal lines. Really made everything pop. You can see there was some air bubbles, but very, very few, and they're tiny. And there we go. Now that they're all cut, went ahead and beveled all of the edges, which just really cleans it up, makes it nicer in the hand, and all the way around is an awesome addition to a good bar of soap. And there we go. And once I was done beveling, I went ahead and stamped them. Now these are a tall, skinny bar, skinny widthwise, not depth, I guess, this way. They get stamped with my logo, which I absolutely love. And of course it shakes my entire bench and shelf that the phone is on. And just like that, they're done. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love how these came out, and I hope you do too.